ACC as well as Clemson that they belong here?
I think we got to prove everything. We got to earn everything we get. That's just the way it is, and that's okay. That's just fine. I mean, I wouldn't want it any other way. We just put our best foot forward. This isn't the only good year we've had. We've been very successful for many years now, and I think 7 years ago when I got this job, the message to our team was, we can't worry about the ACC. We don't need to worry about Clemson. And the way we help the ACC is for Clemson to be great. And the only way that we can change some of the perceptions that some of y'all may have about Clemson or whatever is you got to play people, number one, and you got to win your share of those games. And we've just slowly kind of gone through that process. This is our 7th year. And, you can look, 5 years ago, there was a whole different rhetoric out there. And you really didn't have much. You could just keep your mouth shut and go to work, But now, 7 years into this, it's a very different deal. Sometimes people don't want to look at the facts. But this league is 7-1 in the last 2 years against the SEC. You look at the outside the conference games that our league has won. It's factual. It's some people don't want to look at that, but it's factual. Georgia Tech and Mississippi State in the bowl game last year. We've played LSU, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Auburn, Georgia. You can go on, and we've won. But there's, seems like with ACC, there's always, it's an excuse, or they did this and did that. But you just keep going. And now you look at what we've been able to do. Again, 3 top 10 teams. I think us in the Big Ten. You don't luck up and do that. You earn yourself there. And the SEC is a great conference and has been an incredible conference. But this league, and I'm not saying we're the best league out there. That's not my point. It's just I think this league, top to bottom, is as strong as anybody. People will argue that, and I'm a part of it. I know great players and great coaches, and you look at the NFL draft picks, we're first or second on every chart, NFL draft picks. I think the best coaches in the world, or best league in the world, is NFL, and they're coming to the ACC to get more players. It's us in the SEC by far. You look at the national award winners that come out of this conference. You look at the academics that we have in this conference, and that really kind of separates us, to be honest with you. I think this league, from top to bottom, is just tremendous and well-positioned for the present and well-positioned for the future. So we take great pride in that, but the main thing for me is that I tell our guys all the time, because sometimes you'll hear some of these schools and they'll say, well, yeah, man, we're in this league. Well, what kind of team you got? It ought to be about the program. You need to have a great program. Let's don't carry a banner because you're in a league, but you're 1-11. It's about the program you're in, and we got a bunch of very strong programs. I think last year we had 11 bowl teams, Commissioner? 12? 2 years in a, what is that?
2 years.
2 years in a row. Thank you, Amy. 2 years in a row. 11 bowl teams. I don't know if that's ever happened. So it's just for whatever reason. We sometimes don't get the credit, but all you can do is go play, and hopefully we can produce a great champion that can go into this playoff and win it. Whether it's us or North Carolina, win it, and that'd be 2 out of 3 years that the ACC's won the national championship. So maybe if we can win 3 or 4 in a row, maybe we'll get some credit. But I don't know. We got to go earn it. That's all I know. Just keep playing them.
Front row.
Dabo, I think Deshaun's undefeated as a starter going back to his freshman year. How much of that is due to his sheer talent, and then how much is due to the intangibles he brings with his leadership and the demeanor that he has?
Yeah, I don't know how to break that down as a percentage, but he's certainly incredibly gifted and talented from just a skill set standpoint. His ability to beat you, with his arm and his legs. But the intangible part of it, his mind, his heart, his work ethic, his preparation, his commitment to preparation, his leadership ability, his poise, those are things that that's what makes him special. He's just a complete package. He really doesn't have a weakness. He really doesn't. There's really not one thing that I would grade him down on as far as the way he can throw the deep ball. He's very accurate. Like I said, he can beat you in he's a multi-tool player. Beat you with his mind, his heart, his arm, his legs, his toughness. I mean, and that's what makes him special. He's a tough out. Eventually he's going to lose one, but he's not going to be an easy guy. He's like Mariano Rivera, stepping on the mound. He's a tough one to beat. He's not perfect. He's not some superhuman man. I mean, he makes mistakes, but you're going to have to beat him. I mean, he's not going to beat himself.
A few personnel questions. How limited is Ray with his knee? Do you still plan on having Lakeup handle extra points, and who do you have starting at right guard?
Yeah, Maverick will start at right guard. Has done a nice job for us. Crowder will be ready to go too. Both those guys will play a good bit, I'm sure. Lakeup is going to kick extra points. Ray is much better this week. I think he's more, he's closer to 100%. And, he's mad that he's got to wear that brace, but that's just what he's got to do right now. So, but hopefully when we get back going for bowl practice, he can come out of that brace into a little different type of deal. But he's doing well. So we're full strength.
Coach, Brent Venables said earlier in the week, with this 10-week stretch that you guys are on, that you've done a good job of keeping things fresh, mixing it up for these guys to stay focused, stay hungry. What have you done specifically, sort of mix up the routine maybe during the week to keep these guys energized each and every day during this long stretch?
Well, I think everything counts when you're dealing with a team. Whether it's your team meetings and how you meet with them, and the amount of time you meet with them, and just trying to engage them in a lot of different ways. But I think when you've played, this is our 10th straight week. Appreciate that there, Commissioner. This is our 10th straight week, and it's just tough, and that's just the hand that you're dealt. You got to play it, and so I think last year we played several games, but we had a bye week right there toward the end. We played like on a Thursday. Wake Forest had the weekend off, and then we played our last 3 games. So our schedule was a little different because we had a little bit of a break. But 10 straight weeks, I've had to kind of manage some things a little differently as far as some of our competitive work, length of practice. This time of year, I really believe less is more. And so just having some fun, making sure that they're staying loose and having some fun. And as we've tweaked a couple things with our practice schedule, making sure I take care of our scouts too. That's what nobody ever thinks about. Nobody ever thinks about those scout teams. But making sure that they've got a little bit, we've got the schedule to where they get a little bit of a break so we can have the type of practices that we need. So just little things, nothing major, nothing really too far outside of our routine, but just a few tweaks that I felt like were going to be critical for us being able to sustain the level of play that we were going to need down the stretch.
Far right.
Hey, Dabo. Talk about the challenges, because in 2011 you were here and you haven't been here since then. Talk about the challenges of playing in this league. Is it the team's getting better, or is it just one of those games you can't get over the hump until this year? So let's talk about the challenges.
Well, I mean, we've won the division 4 times, and this is our 3rd time in the ACC championship game. It's just hard to do. I mean, you've got good teams. Florida State won about 52 in a row, I think. I mean, they seriously. I mean, they win the national championship, then they're in the college football playoff. I mean, they're in our division. We lost one conference game last year, and I think we only lost one the year before. But I mean, heck, you got to go undefeated, and at least in our division, if you're going to get here. And same thing over in the Coastal. They, took a undefeated, unscathed year. It's hard to do. It's hard to win. Our league, our division, which I'm in. I mean, you look at Louisville and NC State and the job that Dorn's doing there, and I think he's just done a tremendous job. And obviously with Florida State and ourselves, and nobody wants to play Boston College. It's unfortunate they had some injuries offensively, but they are a tough out. And then Wake Forest and the job that Clawson's doing. I think they were a top 25 defense this year, and he's got that program going in the right direction. It's just a challenge every single week. But I think, Florida State, and we finished in the top 15 3 years in a row. Two of those 3 years, top 10, and couldn't even win our division. So it's difficult. That's why I'm pretty strong on my stance about this league, as I know because it's very competitive throughout, and getting better. It's just hard to do. But again, 7 years, 4 division titles, and our third appearance in the ACC championship game is something that we're really proud of, and hopefully we can continue to be one of the better teams.
Again, to our right.
Hey, Dabo, Mark again from ABC 11 in Raleigh. Do you feel like your team is playing its best football at this point, or is the 10-week grind, are you playing good enough football at this point?
No, I think every win, every week, as you get down in this part of the season, you better be playing your best football. I think we've had 8 straight games of 500-plus yards. But we played, we've had some turnovers, but we've still been able to win. And I think that's, to me, I look at that as a positive, because we don't have to play perfect to win. But I really, last week, I thought we played our best football in the fourth quarter in crunch time on the road with your rival. You're up 28-10, and you're going in the fourth quarter there, and next thing you know, bam, a couple slants and a fade, and it's 28-17. Then your offense goes out and makes a nice play, fumble the ball. Now they get it, and we get a busted play for a quick touchdown. It goes from 28-10 to 28-25 in like 2 minutes. And all the momentum on the road, all that stuff. And I just saw a complete football team rise up. Offense goes right down the field, 4-3 third down conversions and scores. Kickoff coverage makes great kickoff and great coverage. Defense gets a 3 and out. Offense goes back out there, moves the ball down the field, takes time off the clock, sky punts the ball, pins them deep. Defense goes out, gets a 4 downs, gets a stop on downs. Offense goes back out, moves the ball, field goal, kicks it. We've been at our best when we've needed to be. Whatever situation it's been all year long. We haven't, and that's really what it's all about. It's just finding a way to win. You got to give the other teams credit too. That's what nobody ever wants to do. Other teams have good players and energy and great effort and good coaches, and they make plays. But no matter what the situation that has been presented to this team, they have found a way to win. And so I think we're going to have to play our best football tomorrow. And because that's what it's going to come down to. I think same for North Carolina. I think both teams will put their best foot forward.